to my channel, y'all. My name's Sonia and I'm so glad you're here. In today's video, we are going to make some cold process soap. Yes, soap like your grandma and your great-grandma used to make. Probably not your grandma, but maybe your great-grandma. But my grandma used to make it, my Grandma Reed. I'm pretty sure it was my Grandma Reed. But anyway, I filmed some footage the other day when I was making my batches of soap. So I'm going to share that footage with you, and I'm going to do a voiceover and kind of go over the steps that I was doing. And then at the end, I will share the recipe in the description box and the process of how you do everything step by step, so that if you want to do that, you can do that. All right, I'm going to preface this video by saying you're going to be handling a solution that can be damaging to your skin until it's finished. That's the lye, the sodium hydroxide. So please make sure you use gloves and long sleeves or some kind of coverage to cover your arms. Wear protective eyewear so that you don't get any splashes. And be very careful. When you make cold process soap, you do not need to have any kind of distractions. Put the phone away. Make sure the kids and the dogs and cats and whatever else is in the other room, and they're not going to disturb you for about an hour. That gives you plenty of time to do everything you need to do, and you will not get interrupted. Because you do not need to be interrupted when you're working with lye. Okay? So, if you're here for that, grab your seat at my table, or come in here and sit down in the office with me, because this is where we're going to be making the soap today. And let's get started and make some peppermint cocoa cold process soap and get it ready to cure so it'll be ready for Christmas selling and giving. So let's go.
We're going to start the process of soap making by mixing our lye, or our sodium hydroxide, into our distilled water. Now, I have pre-measured my water and pre-measured my lye. And these containers that I use to mix my water and lye, I only use to make soap. I will not put it back in my kitchen and use it for anything else. When you're mixing your sodium hydroxide with your water, always put your sodium hydroxide into the water. Never, ever do you put the water into the sodium hydroxide, because you will have an explosion and you don't want to do that. And make sure that you're near a well-ventilated area. As you can see, I have my window open here so that the fumes will go out that window. You probably can't see it, but there is a little bit of steam and vapors coming up from the sodium hydroxide. If you look closely, you can see it. And so it's all going out the window. But I'm going to stir it until it gets well and mixed up. And then I'm going to leave this to set, because it's going to get very, very hot, like almost 190 degrees. And so I'm putting water into where the spoon will not react, because that's the spoon I mixed my lye with. So that's cleaning off my spoon. And again, I will not use this spoon for anything other than soap making. So now that we've got our water and lye mixed together, we're going to leave it sitting there so that it will cool off. I'm checking the temperature of my lye water, and it's 177.6 degrees. So see, that's way too hot to mix with my oils. So that's the first thing you want to do, is mix your water and your lye and give it time to cool off.
Okay, so now I'm going to weigh out my oils. Set that to 0. And I will put the recipe in the description box below. I need 13.5 ounces of olive oil. And I just get mine at Sam's. I know that's not going to be enough, but I was using what I already had. And I'm going to set this scent oil back here, because I do not want to turn that over, for sure. I'm almost there. 13.57, that's close enough. Okay. I'm going to set that down there out of the way. And then I need, and I'm going to zero that out. I need 9 ounces of my coconut oil, which I get at Sam's. Okay. And I'm just going to put it in there until it comes up to 9 ounces. We're at 8.42. Just a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to zero that out. And I like to put my stuff out of the way as I use it so that I know that I've done that oil. Okay. And then I need, and I'm zeroed out my scale, 1.5 ounces of castor oil. And I had to order my castor oil on Amazon because I couldn't find it locally. And I need 1.5 ounces of castor oil. So not a lot, not near as much as the castor oil helps it lather. Okay. There's my 1.5 ounces of castor oil. And then this, I'm going to go pop. Let's see if I can undo this. Okay. I'm going to go pop this in the microwave for 30 seconds to get it melted. Okay, so now I need, this is my palm oil. I need 9 ounces of palm oil. And so I'm just going to squeeze this in here until I get 9 ounces. All right, there we go. Put that last little bit in there. Okay, so that's all of our oils that we need. So now we're going to check the temperature on our lye water. It's at 159 degrees. All right, so now I got to go pop this in the microwave so that I can melt all this, and then I will be back. Okay, so we have all of our oils melted here. As you can see, they're clear. So we're going to check the temperature of them. We're at 111. And so it's got to be between 110 and 130 for my oils and my lye. I got to check my lye. Okay, the lye is still at 153. So we can't soap yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get my colors ready, because I'm doing two colors. I'm going to do a brown and I'm going to do a red since it's peppermint cocoa. So put this aside. So I'm going to get my colors ready while I'm waiting for my lye water, because I can always heat this back up some more. So I'm going to take a little bit of oil. Get my spoon here. Because it mixes better if you put your colors in oil than it does if you try to just mix them straight. So we're going to do the bright red first. And I think I'm going to do 4 because I want a pretty red color. I want really, really red because it's peppermint, so it needs to be red. Now I think that's going to be perfect. And then this is coffee brown, because you want cocoa. I think we probably only need maybe 3 of those. Okay. That way I don't have any clumps of color. Okay, so we got our colors ready. I'll put them back here. We're going to check the temperature of our lye water again. All right, and we're at 150. And this is at 106. So I'm going to go pop this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And then we should be ready to go. Okay, so now let's see where we're at as far as temperatures for our oils. We're at 138. Okay, and then our lye, 147. So we're good. Okay. So now what I have to do, what I add to my bars, I add to my lye water before I mix in with my oils. I add sodium lacetate. Sodium lacetate makes for a harder, long-lasting bar, and I will do 2 teaspoons of the sodium lacetate, and I will put it in there before I mix it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 teaspoons of sodium lacetate in this little container. There's 1. Probably need to have my gloves on for this. Because just like you don't want to get the lye on your hands, you don't want to get sodium lacetate on your skin either. Once all this saponifies and then the lye and the sodium lacetate, it's all normal and it's fine for use and everything. So we need 1 more teaspoon. Okay. All right, so let's check our temperature. Check our lye water first. And it's still at 144. So this is at 124. So we're close enough within range, but we still need to let our lye water cool off just a little bit. Do is called a drop swirl is what I'm going to do. Once I get everything colored, I'm going to section these two off, and then I'm going to stir them together, and I'm going to put the coloring in it. And I'm going to save this. I've got a little bit of red dye, and I'm going to save it in case my red is not red enough for me that I like. And so I've got my immersion blender here that I'm going to use when I put my lye water into my oil. So I'm going to get it plugged up. And I have this container to put my immersion blender piece in when I'm done, because I don't want to get it all over everywhere. So it goes in the water. Alright, so let's check. I think I'm going to go ahead and move our lye water over here. Now when you pick up your lye water, your container that your water is in is going to be hot. Hence, I have a towel. Okay, here is our lye water. We're going to check the temperature of it. It's at 142.2, so we're getting there. This is at 124, so we're getting there. So we're almost there. So this is my sodium lactate. That I will need to mix together just before I put it in my oils. Patience is the key here, because you don't want to soap too hot. And I'm having trouble getting this darn thing open. I'm going to grab my scissors. This way my red will be ready if I need it. I've got my trash can under there. Okay, so we're going to test this lye water again. We're at 141. So we're getting there. We're just still not there. These are still at 122, so I'm still good. I'm still okay. As long as these don't get below 110, we'll be fine. Our essential oils. We add that after we put the lye water in here, then we'll put our essential oil in there. And then we'll immersion blender till it comes to trace, to a light trace. And then we don't want it to get too far, because I want it to be where I can drop swirl it. And this is my mold that I'm going to use. This is my brambleberry mold. This came with the kit that I bought that was in another video, but this is the mold that I'm going to use to do the drop swirl. And I just went to my local Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and I bought these tubs. I think they were $1.25 a piece, and then I bought these spatulas, because what you use for soap making, you do not want to use for anything else. Let's check our lye water. We're at 139, and we're at 121, so I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to burp my blender. I'm going to burp my blender, and I'm going to turn this down where you guys can really see what's going on. You can see more of what's going on. I burped my blender because I don't want any more bubbles than I absolutely have to have. So I burped that, and now what I'm going to do, if I can handle this, I'm going to pour my lye water down the stem of my immersion blender. Okay. And then we're going to give it a little, we're going to mix it up. Okay, we're going to let this go for about a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to put my essential oils in there. Every last bit of that essential oil. Every last bit. Okay. And now I'm going to pulse it some more. Till I get it to a light trace, and we're not there yet. We're still not at a light trace. And you don't want to just completely stick in this and just turn it loose, because then you'll get it where it's too thick. I think we're almost there. Not yet. Okay, I think we're there. We are at a light trace. So I'm going to scrape this off, get all of this soap in there. And then I'm going to take this off, put that over there, so then I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to pour half of my soap in here. And then half in this one. Making sure I get all of that out of there, because the more I scrape out of there, the less I have to clean up. Man, it smells amazing. You can smell that peppermint for sure. Now, you do not want to dilly-dally with this, because it will start to set up. Okay, so we got that. So now I'm going to put my color, my brown color, in this one. Getting all that oil I can. And it's going to turn it this beautiful brown color. Oh yeah. It's going to look like hot cocoa. Try to get some more out of here. Okay, hopefully these colors will hold true, because I want you to look at this color of this cocoa. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to add the red. Yeah, see, this is already starting to thick up, so I've got to move my booty. Because I don't want it to get too thick. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to need the red, because this is coming off pink instead of red. So we're going to put some red in here. Let's try that. I may just have to go with that color of red and be happy with it, because it's going to get too thick on me if I don't. So we've got a red going on. Okay. And I'm going to continue to, yeah, we're at trace. Definitely got a good trace. Trace is where you can do this and it leaves a mark on top of the soap batter, where it does that, and you can see it. Okay. So, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to mix this, make sure we got this one mixed up good. Make sure we're at a trace with this one. Yeah, we're at a trace with this one. Man, this peppermint smells amazing. Okay, so we're going to pour from each end of the mold. And I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to go this way, then I'm going to go this way. Oh, I think this is going to be pretty. And the higher you swirl it from, the deeper it goes. Whoop. Good thing this is just my office. Okay, so now I'm going to get my spatulas and I'm going to scrape my bowls down. Because I don't want to waste any of this soap goodness. We want to get it all in there. I'm going to do the same thing with what's left in here. Because we want all of this soap goodness. And I'm sure y'all can hear the cars going by now, because I had the window up for my lye water. Double scrape this on this side, see if we can get any more of this red off. Now I'm going to take a popsicle stick, remove this out of the way, and I'm just going to do a little swirl this way. And then a swirl this way. Okay. I don't want to swirl it too much because I don't want to lose my design. So now I'm going to just kind of wipe the sides here off. Wipe that down. And then I'm going to give it a little, to make sure I don't have any bubbles. So now we set it and let it set for 24 hours before we pull it out of the mold. Give my design a little, now that it's a little thicker. May have to sit just a few more minutes before I can really do that and do a good job of that. But the good thing about using these is I can just throw these away. I can throw them away. These I will wash up, and I will wash them up outside because I live on a septic system and I don't want to mess up my septic system. But I will take these outside and wash these off and come back in 24 hours. There's your soap, guys. Okay, I didn't film cutting the soap, but this is actually the soap that I made. This is the peppermint cocoa. And then this is the second batch that I made, and it's oatmeal honey. But man, it still smells so good in here. So good in here. So out of that one loaf, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bars of this soap. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and then a sample out of that. But I used two different molds. I used this mold to make the oatmeal honey, and this mold to make the peppermint cocoa. This mold seems to be harder to get out of, so I'm not sure I will use that a lot. I've ordered me some more of these because these are so much easier to use. But now I've got to wash that mold. But anyway, there's my soap. Okay, so we have had a good Saturday. We have cleaned the house. We have done some laundry, which I forgot to film because my battery died. I didn't forget to film, but my battery died. Anyway, I did some laundry, did the dishes, made some cold processed soap. And so thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video and you like this kind of content, please give it a big thumbs up because it helps put my video out to other people that might want to watch it just like you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And remember what I always say, make sure you take time to go out and make those memories with the ones you love. May God bless you richly in the coming days, and I'll see you in the next video, my friends.